Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Amber. I am the worship leader at New Life Christian Assembly in Lancaster, South Carolina. We are going to bring to you August the 8th, 2026 Word for You Day. You can find that at www.wordforyou.com. And so I'm going to go ahead and start reading it. The devotional is called Victory is an Inside Job. Pretty cool. Very great devotional. We're going to read that in a second. It comes from 2 Corinthians 4:16. Now, the New King James Version says, though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. However, I also wanted to read the Amplified Classic Version, which says, therefore, we do not become discouraged, utterly spiritless, exhausted, and wearied out through fear. Though our outward man is progressively decaying and wasting away, yet our inner self is being progressively renewed day after day. So I thought that was good. And then I'm going to read the devotional. It's a great story. So listen up. This is a fantastic story of the power of just victory that you have in God and the power of your just your thoughts. Okay, so here we go. In 1928, a happy, ambitious young nursing student was diagnosed with tuberculosis. I'm going to stop there for a second. Notice it describes her as happy and ambitious. I think many times people who are diagnosed with different things end up not being happy and not being ambitious after the diagnosis. Let's keep reading. Back then, such a diagnosis often meant a death sentence. Her family sent her to a nursing home for several months, hoping she would be cured. She was destined to remain in bed for the next 21 years. Many people would have given up, but not Isabel Smith. She approached the threshold of death on several occasions, but her faith remained strong, and she never ceased to pursue the art of living. She read voraciously, wrote letters, studied geography, and taught other patients to read and write. From her bed, she studied atomic energy with a fellow patient, a young physicist, and organized a town hall on the topic. While ill, she met a kind, gentle man, also a patient at the sanatorium. She dreamed of marrying him and having a little house under the mountains. At her lowest ebb, her dream kept her going, and in 1948 she got married. She then authored a book called Wish as I Might, which was published in 1955. The book was about all the good things life has brought me. Wow, amidst the fact that she had tuberculosis, and earned her enough royalties to buy her the mountain retreat she dreamed of. A tragic life? Hardly. Isabel Smith achieved everything she set out to achieve, though the odds against her were overwhelming. Even when flat on her back in bed, she never quit growing, learning, dreaming, and giving. Though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. Victory is an inside job. Wow. I'm sure many of you have testimony after testimony of how perhaps at your lowest point, God completely showed you love, showed you truth, showed you what to do, showed you how to live in that moment. There are studies, scientific studies that show cancer patients that have a happy attitude, that have a thankful spirit, who have a go-getter attitude, they actually live longer and conquer cancer. Whereas those who have been diagnosed with cancer and decide that their life is over, they decide to make that decision that they really are going to die, and they take it for what the doctors say, and they absolutely die, and they don't live very long. Now, is that always the case? No, obviously it's not always the case, but there are studies showing that your attitude does play a massive part in your healing. Your attitude, your thought process, being thankful, being grateful. It says in this devotional that she was happy and ambitious. And it shows us in this devotional that despite the fact that she was diagnosed with a deadly disease, she continued to not only live a life worth living, but she then also helped others. There's power in helping others despite your own circumstances. There's power in being grateful and thankful. We know this from experience. We know this from scientific evidence. People who are not even Christians have done scientific experiments showing the power of Thanksgiving, which I keep saying over and over again, but I think it bears repetition. So, guys, I want to encourage you. Perhaps you've dealt with something for a very long time. Maybe you have been diagnosed with something and you feel like it is the end of the world. Maybe you have experienced a trauma, a traumatic thing in your life. Maybe you have experienced a divorce. Maybe you've experienced a death in the family. Maybe you've experienced something that's unimaginable. Perhaps you yourself have been diagnosed with cancer or with another type of disease that seems to be completely uncurable. I encourage you. Live life ambitiously, thanking God and putting your focus and your attention on Him instead of the problem. It says in here that she had faith. It says she approached the threshold of death on several occasions, but her faith remained strong and she never ceased to pursue the art of living. So I encourage you, keep your faith strong. Well, how do you do that? How do you keep your faith strong in the midst of a storm? Well, first of all, you don't put your eyes on the storm. You put your eyes on Jesus, on God. The Bible verse that comes to mind is faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. Well, who is the word of God? We know that Jesus is the word. Jesus Christ is the Word made flesh, right? So we know that the Bible and His Word, His love letters to us, are going to bring us life. They're going to increase our faith. They're going to help us in the midst of our trial. So we're able to conquer that which is to be conquered. We're able to conquer that giant, whatever it is that's in our lives. And we are more than conquerors. I love you guys. I pray that this message touched your heart as it encouraged mine. And I pray that you would like it, subscribe it, share it out to others around you who might need some encouragement, who might need to know that the Word of God is true. It is living. It is breathing, sharper than any two-edged sword. It brings us faith. It brings us hope. It brings us joy. It is love because He is love. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good day. Goodbye.